Hello everyone, and welcome to another midweek video message update. Again, and as always, I trust this inquiry finds you safe, healthy, and well. If you haven't already done so, and I imagine that many of you have, Google or search on the internet the James Webb Telescope. The James Webb, W-E-B-B, Space Telescope. A couple weeks ago, it relayed to us, and we saw outer space as we have never seen it before. The James Webb Telescope succeeds the Hubble telescope, the most famous and the one that we're probably more familiar with. The James Webb Telescope is new technology, and not only is it new technology, it's more powerful. And it's given us visions and views of outer space that we've never seen before. In fact, it's able to go so far into space that it actually goes back in time. That is to say, it's taking pictures of stars that by the time those stars emit their light to Earth, the stars will burn out. And remember that the light is traveling at the speed of light. And Webb is so far into outer space that those lights will burn out before they even reach Earth at the speed of light. And that's how it goes back in time. Just this week, the James Webb Space Telescope released pictures of Saturn. Again, if you haven't seen these pictures, enjoy them. Go to the web and Google them and learn something about them and enjoy the incredible, vivid imagery. All of this to say that if you haven't already checked out the story of God and Abram and Sarai in Genesis, do that too. As the story goes, Sarai and Abram were minding their own business, sleeping one night, and God interrupted them, took them out of their tent, grabbed them by the napes of their neck, shone their face to the sky, and said, "You are going to be the father and mother of faith. I'm going to create so much faith that the number of the faithful are going to be more than there are stars in the sky." Well, even in the Milky Way galaxy, there are more stars than we can count. But when God made that promise to Abram and Sarai 3,700 years ago, God was fully aware of not only the Milky Way galaxy that we can see with our naked eye, but of all of the galaxies, that God will create and is creating. And all the stars in all those galaxies God is aware of. And when God made that promise to Abram and Sarah that there would be more faithful people, more faith-filled people than there are stars in the sky, God was fully aware of all the stars, of all the galaxies, again, the stars that have existed, the stars that exist today, and the stars that will yet exist. That's how big God's promises are. And God sees all of time at one time. God sees yesterday, today, and tomorrow all as one event. And as people of faith, then, it is our privilege to go back in time with God, to realize in present time with God, and to trust our future with God, that God is a God who keeps promises, big promises, promises that we can't even imagine, but God keeps them. Know that each and every one of you numbers among the stars that God referred to when he spoke to Sarai and Abram all those years ago. You are living evidence that God keeps God's promises. Enjoy a star-filled night sometime this summer, And most certainly, again, I encourage you to check out the James Webb Telescope. It's incredible. In fact, one quick personal note before I sign off for this week. When I served Trinity Lutheran Congregation in Manhattan Beach, California, one of the members of my congregation was a scientist who was actually working on the James Webb Telescope. And he granted me access, or he gained for me access, and we had to put on like hospital gowns and be completely lint and dirt and germ free. And then we got to stand behind the closed glass, and actually I got to watch them work on and build this James Webb Telescope. So these pictures are particularly poignant for me, and I hope that I have communicated to you how poignant God's promises, how incredible, how important God's promises are for each and every one of you. God bless. Amen.